When Samir regained consciousness, he found himself jostling on the back of a galloping horse. He looked down and saw himself wearing the hunting robes of a Minamoto Onmyoji. At that moment, he was galloping alongside a squad of elite Minamoto warriors. Their faces were tense, robes splattered with dark brown blood stains, and every so often, someone would nervously glance back to check if pursuers were closing in. The gates of the Minamoto estate finally came into view. Before the horse fully halted, the crowd scrambled to assist the person shielded in their midst, stumbling hastily toward the house. Call the medic, now! The mansion's original tranquility was shattered. The servants exchanged bewildered glances, unsure of what was happening. The clan head is injured. Summon the physician at once. Additionally, the entire estate is now on lockdown. Those words struck like lightning strike, throwing the Minamoto estate into chaos. Footsteps, shouts, pale-faced servants scrambling in disarray. The air was thick with the panic of an impending storm. Accompanying the physician was Yukikozen. The elderly clan head on the bed has awakened, and the physician is carefully tending to his wounds. Master, how could the injuries be this severe? What? Yuki goes and glanced at the surrounding Onmyoji, and even Sameh felt the sharpness in her gaze when it swept over him. It's the Taira. The Taira have rebelled. Young Master Minamoto, it's our failure. We couldn't bring him back. Are you saying? Yuki goes and sharply turned to the old clan head, his face etched with sorrow. Now just a father grieving the loss of his beloved son. But today, isn't it the wedding of the Onmyoji and the white fox? It was Taira no Masakado. He tore up the land of eternity, packed during the wedding. The venue was filled with his elite soldiers, catching everyone completely off guard. The wedding celebration turned into a blood-soaked hell, all thanks to Taira no Masakado. Taira no Masakado. As Yukiko-san read the name, a faint figure from distant memories surfaced in her mind. At that time, during the grand festival held in Heian-kyo, the young Yukiko-san sat in a magnificent palanquin as the most dazzling shrine maiden of the Minamoto clan. The crowd bustled, voices clamoring as everyone wanted to catch a glimpse of the Minamoto clan's prodigy shrine maiden. Yukiko then wore the solemn 12-layered kimono, her back always straight, maintaining dignity without a trace of laxity in her expression. And a piercing neigh echoed across the sky, capturing everyone's attention. Amid swirling dust, a young man charged through the city gates on a violent steed. With a sharp tug on the reins, the horse reared high before stamping down, yet the youth remained unflustered, steadying the animal with practiced ease. Basking in the sunlight, he laughed heartily, unabashedly, flaunting the sharpness and exuberance of youth. The onlookers whispered that youth was none other than the young lord of the Taira clan, Taira no Masakado. From within the ornate palanquin, Lady Yukiko then gazed at Taira no Masakado, far away atop his horse. He seemed to sense her gaze and turned to look back. As the palanquin curtain swayed, their gazes briefly met. That single glance was the only time she ever crossed paths with Taira no Masakado. Why did he suddenly tear up the alliance? Who can understand a madman? No one foresaw this turn of events. Perhaps the Taita never intended to honor the pact. But earlier, the Taita clan was clearly the most proactive party. How could such a drastic change happen in just a few days? Master, I have a suspicion. This matter likely isn't solely the Taita's doing. Someone else must have interfered. No matter what, after tonight, everything will change. Yuki-ime. The family head's hand grasped Lady Yukikozen's, trembling slightly. Several samurai in Onmyoji who had escorted the family head back suddenly all knelt down on the ground. We request to join the battle, sworn to make the Taita pay. My lord, once war begins, it is difficult to stop. I implore you to consider carefully. Carefully considering doing nothing, Yuki-hime? No, it's not about what we think, but what Taito no Masakado has already decided to do. What I request is to quickly form a new alliance with the Fujiwara and Kamo clans, uniting the power of the three great families to oppose Taito no Masakado. The Onmyoji, harboring Same's consciousness, was sent as Yukigozen's aide to assist her in handling matters behind the formation. The shifts between memories in this illusion have no discernible pattern. It seems we're merely drifting through fragments of Yukigozen-sama's scattered recollections. We were forced into this memory illusion, likely Lady Yukikozen sending us a signal, hoping we can find something crucial for her within these memories. The reason she sought our help might be because she sensed the Minamoto bloodline. In any case, staying close to Yukikozen is the best way to uncover crucial clues. Fortunately, this identity grants me that convenience. The Onmyoji messenger finally appeared, though he didn't seem to be in good condition. Did you encounter any pursuers on the way? The Onmyoji shook his head. Where is Lady Yukikozen? I need to deliver this intelligence report to her personally. Seme guided him. It was already late at night, but Yukikozen had not slept. During the day, she taught the young shrine maidens, and at night she pondered matters of the battlefield and the estate. Lady Yukikozen unfolded the letter, and upon reading its contents, her expression turned grave. Has the front-line situation become so dire that the clan leader must personally take the field? The Taita clan is nearly unstoppable, repeatedly breaching our defenses. The Kamo and Fujiwara clans have long been powerless to fight back, leaving only us still. The clan leader said that unless there's no retreat left, the Minamoto will fight to the very end. No matter what, you needn't worry about the supplies and provisions. I'll prepare everything for you. The family head isn't worried about you managing the Minamoto estate affairs, knowing you've kept operations running smoothly under limited conditions. You are our greatest safeguard and strongest fortress. The soldiers are deeply grateful to you. It is you who have given us the belief and confidence to achieve victory. I understand the family head's meaning. The journey was tiring, so please rest soon. After the Onmyoji left, the flickering candlelight made it even harder to discern Yukikozen's thoughts. Help me prepare for the prayer ritual. Tomorrow I will pray for the safety and victory of the warriors. Yes, my lord. Same left Yukikozen's loft, and as he closed the door, he caught a glimpse of something almost imperceptibly puzzled in her expression.
また祈願だわ。もしや宣教が案ずるな。雪御前様がお守りくださる。蝶の羽ばたきは果たして彼方まで届くか。
無駄なこと。
雪御前よ、そなたは一族の希望じゃ。
当主様、祈るばかりではなく、
雪姫、将兵に神々のご加護を与え、民草を安心させることも大事な役目じゃ。
ですが私も武器を取り戦います。
源氏はお前まで失えぬ。
踏み潰す。
月の光はあなたを帰るべき場所へ導く。みんなの願いは私が守る。その思い聞き届けて。
運命に峠を去ればしません。日の光を貫き、共に窮地を乗り越えましょう。
みんなは守る。明治早くみんなの願いは私が守る。
この
兄さんが怒ったと言って
誰や大物。
ほら明治早く
破滅を食い止めてみせましょう。
世界の彩りを集めた。
どうしたの？ぶつ切り！敵は目前！
雪御前様、早くお逃げください。
その血肉を捧げよ。この割に取り込まれるがいい。
おやめください。死んでしまわれます。
神、祈ることはもうしない。源氏はここにあり、終わりなどせぬ。
Amidst the shattered ice crystals, Yukiko's silhouette gradually comes into focus. The descendants of Minamoto held their breath, their ancestor who had traversed centuries stood amidst the shattered ice, his robes untouched by dust. At this very moment, she truly awoke. Suddenly, a wisp of foul black mist appeared, and from within it, a sharp blade shot straight at Yukiko's. Clang. The clang of ice blades blocking reverberated across the frozen plains. Yukiko's spun back, but her expression shifted involuntarily. when she lifted her gaze to the approaching figure. Nagi. Yuki Gozen's tentative call dissipates into the wind, met only by a more vicious slash. Yuki Gozen could sense that the person before her was not Nagi. At this moment, wisps of black mist occasionally emanated from her, her eyes devoid of clarity and her body exuding a foul, corrupted aura. Though filled with questions, Yuki Gozen first retracted her ice blade. She reached out, pressing her palm against Yotohime's cheek, attempting to awaken her fading consciousness and spiritual energy. The warm touch froze those murky eyes for a fleeting moment, only to be swallowed again by deeper shadows. It seems she is under the control of some dark sorcery, exploiting the cracks in her heart, amplifying her darkest thoughts. Now, only those dark thoughts remain to govern her. Yuki Gozen abandoned futile actions, calmly retreating and drawing her blade. This was a duel between master and disciple. I don't know what happened or why you've become like this, but no more mischief. With a light tap of her toe, Yuki Gozen's ice blade traced a crescent moon's arc through the air. A century of sleep did not dull her blade's intent. In an instant, the icy plains were filled with their clashing steel. Every move Yuki Gozen made was gentle yet firm, dissolving the murderous intent behind Yotohime's slashes, like a silent snowfall softening all sharp edges. The difference between master and apprentice soon became apparent as Yotohime's assault began revealing flaws. One step, one advance, one strike. Clank. Yotohime's blade slipped from her grip. The black mist suddenly enveloped everyone, and in the darkness they heard a familiar, chilling voice. The day Taro no Masakado falls is the day he returns. Offer the blade of sacrifice as tribute, paving the way for him. Burn away your rage, Taro no Masakado. Let those who trampled on your ideas and took your life well in the flames. A shaft of light tore through the black mist, revealing to all a vision akin to an apocalyptic prophecy. A colossal phantom looms between heaven and earth, black flames flowing like molten lava across its form, its eyes brim with contempt as if gazing down upon mere insects. Taro no Masakado. The colossal shadow swung its arm and hurled the sword. A crimson blade shrieked through the air, aimed straight at Heian-kyo. Minamoto no Yorimitsu. Minamoto no Yorimitsu understood instantly. The two leaped into action, the others following closely. They deployed a barrier mid-air to halt the colossal sword, only for the black mist to morph into spiderwebs, ensnaring and scorching the magic circle. How dare you? Yuki Gozen stepped into the air, her hand gliding over the icy blade as frost patterns bloomed. With a single swing of her blade, a colossal storm of ice and snow erupted, turning miles of rivers and mountains pure white, rice stalks bound in ice, streams frozen still. The raging blizzard howled like a silver dragon, whittling away Futsunomitana's power layer by layer, until the great sword plunged into the outskirts of Heian-kyo. As Futsunomitana settled, the earth quaked, and dark clouds surged across the sky like spilled ink, while distant roars akin to muffled thunder echoed. Amid the chaos, Yotohime was swept away by the black mist, vanishing toward where Futsuno Mitama lay. Could it be Taro no Masakado has been resurrected? Yukikozen bent down and picked up an object where Yotohime had vanished. In her palm lay a bell, its ribbon faded but its brass still gleaming anew. She clenched her fist, enveloping the bell within her grasp. He is not fully recovered yet. Perhaps sensing my awakening, he threw the sword earlier to intercept us, buying time for the tidal forces. As he spoke, crimson light pulsed from the direction of Odakoto's camp, illuminating half the sky. I hear footsteps. Those skeletal soldiers frozen earlier are reviving. Utsunomiya is empowering them. We must act swiftly. Let's return to Heian-kyo first. Within the Minamoto estate, the man and his companions returned to the Minamoto residence via a teleportation talisman, where many anxious faces had long been waiting. Lord Samed's foresight is truly divine. I can't wait till we get him as an Onmyoji. Like, he's very handsome. I like the way his zither is shaped. And all the long flowing fabric. Very handsome and stylish indeed. I even like his eboshi. Very decked out on his head. Losamed's foresight is truly divine. This must be the Shrine Sword Saint who wields wind and snow as her blade. Just call me Yukikozu. The battle is urgent, so forgive my brevity. I have never seen, as an English speaker, I have never seen the word brevity in my life. My first time, like, really noticing this word. Just now, several sudden changes occurred on the battlefield. First, a skyward ice barrier briefly halted the enemy, followed by a colossal shadow hurling a sword through the air. Since that colossal sword pierced the earth, Odakoto fought with divine assistance. Skeletal soldiers reconnected broken bones, shattered skulls regenerated. The tactics that worked against them before are slowly losing effectiveness. Soon our defenses may be raided. Onikiri and Suzuka Gozen are still holding the line on the battlefield. I assumed you'd be returning soon, so I rushed back to the Minamoto estate. This isn't exactly the short version. Yukikozu, on her way here, has already grasped the situation. Minamoto no Yorimitsu solemnly bows. Lady Yukikozu, fortune smiles after a century. I am Minamoto no Yorimitsu, current head of the Minamoto clan. Yukikozu nodded slightly. I witness all your words and actions while you traverse my memories. The tea room door suddenly slid open and Fujiwara Michisuna entered, panting. He downed a cup of tea first, steadying his breath before speaking. I've uncovered more about that giant sword. That massive sword blocked our advance and emboldened Odakuro's army. All our previous advantages vanished beneath its shadow. There's one more thing that's even more concerning. I saw the figures of a Shiodoman and Yotohime beneath the sword throne, constructing a blood-red magic circle. That circle gives off a very ominous feeling. Sword, sacrifice, technique. Legend says that when Taro no Masakado wielded Futsunomiya, the blade will bond with its bearer through their blood. Those sword patterns are actually flowing blood. Futsunomiya has lain dormant for a century. To unleash its full power swiftly, such a blood offering may be necessary.
I've heard that once this ritual is completed, the sacrificial soul will be utterly annihilated. Even if forcibly interrupted, survival would be a miracle. Yotoime must have been manipulated by Shiodoman's dark Onmyoji spells long before reaching the Council of the Sun. Her shadows exploited to plant controlling darkness. I believe this would be the optimal course of action given the current situation. Yukikozen swiftly and accurately assessed the current situation, then coordinated with the team to devise a new battle strategy. While other regions continue holding back Odokuro as his armies advance, we also need an elite squad to head to Fukunomitama and destroy its barrier. For now, the battlefield will have to rely on you all. As for Nagi, that is, Yotohime, I will personally bring her back.
Wait a minute, did I hear that correctly? Nagi is actually Yotohime? So Nagi is a human girl before she became a sword spirit and turned into Yotohime. Am I hearing this correctly? So that's why this little girl is so important. Okay. If I'm understanding this correctly.
Tomorrow is a day of the decisive battle. To conserve their strength, everyone retired early. Minamoto no Yorimitsu led Yukikozen through the estate. Yukikozen saw many familiar things as well as many unfamiliar ones. It appears the Minamoto clan head has changed much since my time. This courtyard once held scenic views every 10 paces, now transformed into a training ground. Splendid. This place is wide open, perfect for training. Oh, and there are many more like it. Shall I show you? No need for now. Even the gilded beams, though not priceless, they were meticulously crafted by master artisans with gold leaf. Oh, that beam? I ordered it removed. Rather than maintaining such impractical extravagance, it's better to invest in strengthening our forces. By the way, you haven't met Ghost Armory yet, have you? Let me show you. Another time. Late at night, Kagura finds it hard to sleep. She rises and decides to stroll in the courtyard to clear her mind. Unconsciously, she wandered into the gentian flower field deep within the estate. Legend says this field was planted by Yukikozen, unblooming for a century, yet today it flourishes. Pale blue specks of light drifted among the flowers, like scattered starlight falling upon a snowy plain. By the flower field, Yukikozen sat cross-legged with her eyes closed, her frost-colored hair fluttering slightly in the night breeze.
Lady Yukikozen, you can't sleep either?
I don't really need much sleep right now. Staying here helps me clear my mind and prepare for tomorrow.
You're worried about Nagi, aren't you?
Back then, she was given the name Nagi, hoping she would be like the calm after wind and snow. Yet, no one expected her to face an even deeper night, exploited by the Minamoto elders, coexisting with the cursed blade Yotohime. Was this name a healing flutter or a curse upon her? I failed to protect her, letting her endure so much suffering.
Why do you always assume she needs your protection?
Kagura pointed at the gentian flowers standing stubbornly upright in the blossom field.
Yotohime has endured so many hardships, yet she never bowed to the abyss. It was by holding on to her true self through sheer willpower that she has come this far. Perhaps the version of her you see now differs from what you envisioned. Yet this war, her own choice. Perhaps if my mother or father saw me again, they'd be disheartened. The current me isn't what they envisioned.
You there, come closer. Yukiko then chuckled, patting the space beside her. Kagura nestled into the embrace, scented with gentian, like a fledgling burying itself in its parents' wings.
I feel an inexplicable closeness to you. That's why I can't help speaking more openly.
It's alright. I can sense the spiritual power within you. It bears remarkable similarity to mine. You must have endured many hardships growing up, haven't you? Kagura understood what Yukiko-san meant, but she shook her head.
Many people stand by my side. I'm not alone, so it's not so hard.
What a good child. By the way, this is for you. Within Azure magic circle materializes an ice parasol. Its canopy adorned with eternal snowflake patterns.
So pretty.
Kagura, I sense the bond between us, deep in our bloodline. A shrine maiden born with extraordinary gifts, both a healing flutter and a shackle. But I can see in your eyes that you've already made your choice, that there's something you wish to protect with unwavering resolve. This umbrella is a gift for you. Oh, so that's why we got the frozen icy umbrella for Kagura. Okay. This umbrella is a gift for you. It's called the Thousand Snow Umbrella, symbolizing to press forward fearlessly through 1,000 snows. This umbrella carries my spiritual power. May it protect you in the days to come. May it accompany you to slash through illusions, protect the path you choose, and guard what your heart desires.
Thank you. I'll treasure this gift. Tomorrow, you'll go alone to find Yotohime. What if the ritual still can't be stopped?
No, even when she was a living sacrifice, she managed to carve a path to survival through sheer willpower. This time, we will surely succeed. Yukiko's voice was resolute, as countless gentian flowers swayed, echoing her determination. At dawn, the group set out, according to yesterday's tactics, for the battle against Taito no Masakado's Futsu no Mitama. Here it goes. Since Yukikozen emerged from the mountains, the situation has been gradually shifting. Yet within the Minamoto clan's annex, there remains a young shrine maiden shrouded in sorrow. Nagi, stop looking so gloomy. The recent news from the front lines has been good. The Titans, ever since Yukikozen became the head of the household, we've never had to live in fear again. Yet, Nagi's expression remained far from cheerful. You're small in stature and heart. How can you hold so many worries? The clan head will be fine, and our Minamoto clan will thrive even more. On the battlefield, Yukikozen descended from the sky like a flower drifting slowly downward. First came the wind, carrying snow and gentian petals that swept across the faces of the Titan soldiers. As she steadied herself, her ice blue umbrella unfurled, its frost-legged blade spinning beneath. Gleaming sharply, Yukikozen lifted her gaze toward the enemy forces. The Jewel of Minamoto was once her title, but now Shrine Maiden Sword Saint is her new name. The blaze strikes unseen as the blizzard descends, ice crystals enveloping gentian flowers that scatter to every corner of the battlefield. Any soldier touched by the frost crystal gentian will have their life frozen in an instant, forever preserved on the battlefield without even feeling the pain. Those who narrowly escaped had no time to catch their breath before the blaze of wind was already upon them. The tidal stronghold in this area has also been reclaimed. Now only the coastal waters near Mount Suzuka remain. The Minamoto soldiers were overjoyed, still basking in the recent victory. Clan leader, what should we do next? Proceed as originally planned. Lady Yukikozen seemed to recall something, pondering for a long while before finally speaking. I'll return to the Minamoto villa first. When I come back, we'll set sail for the waters near Mount Suzuka. In the annex, Yukikozen was briefing the elders of the Minamoto clan on various matters. From the elders to the stewards, Yukikozen held detailed conversations with each of them. Nagi stood guard at the door with her wooden sword, watching everyone leave the reception hall with solemn emoji. It wasn't until late at night that the crowd finally dispersed. Why aren't you resting yet? Before the words faded, the soldier stepped past Nagi to report to Yukikozen. Lady Yukikozen, everything is ready. You may depart at once. After delivering his report, the soldier left, leaving only Nagi looking bewildered.
You're leaving now? Returning to the front lines? But didn't you just return today?
Yukikozen lowered her head to sort through the documents, pausing briefly at the words.
Are you really leaving?
Nagi stepped in front of Yukikozen, placing a warm hand on her head, but she shook it off with a stubborn toss. Yukikozen crouched down, her gaze fixed on Nagi. Remember what I told you? The past halts like a blizzard. The future begins anew like fresh snow. I shall be your past and you shall be my future.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Nagi resisted, covering her ears. Nagi. Nagi pressed her forehead against her neck.
Please, don't go. Not a terrible dream. I dreamed you lay in a pool of blood. I dreamed I called for you, but you never answered. Don't go. I beg you.
Yukiko then gently patted her trembling back. Nagi, from the moment I took up the blade of life's end, everything that followed has been my choice. I will return. Lady Yukiko then fastened the bell around Nagi's waist. Even if it's just for you, I'll return.
When did that happen?
But Yukiko then did not answer.
You don't even know if you would make it back.
Nagi yanked off the bell and flung it into a corner, her face streaked with tear stains.
You're abandoning us. Abandoning me.
Isn't this? But the soldier came again, looking frantic, as if something urgent had happened on the front lines. Yukiko then cast one last glance at Nagi before finally stepping into the night. This time, she neither wiped Nagi's tears nor looked back. The day, the moonlight stretched Yukiko's departing figure long and far, like a fresh scar in Nagi's heart.
ほう、悪くはない。しかし三大家族は皆無垢。お前に救えるものはない。
その身に刻め汚れし者よ。
兵士の炎は尽きません。
この一戦をもって静寂を。この身は刃に、この志は吹雪。落ちよ、平将門。
姉様。
The last remnants of Nagi's weeping shattered before Sume's eyes, and the surrounding illusion began to fade. Shoot. We must find the key to the memory. Sume's spiritual vision fully awakened, countless memory shards surging in the darkness. As the layers of mist part, the lock loosens, revealing a fragment of encrypted hidden memory. Yukiko's icy blade severed the heads of the fire lion and its master. Just as the two fell from the sky together, a hidden realm suddenly expanded, pulling Yukiko inside. The consciousness of Tadano Masakado appeared within the ring. Tadano Masakado laughed. One half of him was the carefree, horse-riding youth, while the other was a scorched black flame, corrupted mad king. My sworn rival, the other half of my fate, the most similar star, yet on a completely opposite trajectory. Of snow with a minimal decline. Countless terrifying black flames surged from Tadano Masakado's body. As if struck by black flames, the fragments of memory began to flicker. When the scene settled once more, what unfolded before Sume's eyes? A blade of ice, wreathed in black flames, pierced through Yukiko-san's body. All realms born from nothingness shattered, and time reverted to the moment of the fall. Yukiko-san plummeted heavily from the sky into an unnamed land. At that moment, a blizzard swept in, turning the world white in an instant. A long, harsh winter began there. In this process, the blade of life's end also scattered to other places. Memories fade once more, tainted by the black flame that overflowed from Tadamama's just as witnessed moments ago on the shards of Yukiko-san's memories. The man already had a solution in mind, but the memory illusion shattered, the memory connected with the others. Everyone, lend me your strength to inversion this black flame. Others responded, one by one, upon hearing Sama's summons. The magic circle activated, and in the light of purification, the black flames had nowhere to hide. Before they were completely extinguished, a wisp escaped the circle, vanishing to who knows where. The group returned to the icy plains, only to find the earlier ice cavern gone, an illusion. The relentless snowstorm haunting this place had ceased. As the ice and snow melted, many things once buried beneath began to reveal themselves. The ice crystals in the gentian flower field shattered entirely, scattering like glistening shards of crystal. The wind passes and gentian flowers bloom one after another, their blue-purple hues appearing even more beautiful against the white ice plains. The hilt of the ice blade vibrated before finally flying deep into the field of gentian flowers. Endless petals soared into the sky from the upward force, replacing the snowstorm with a rain of gentian flowers. A figure emerged from the depths of the flower field, swiftly catching the flying hilt of the sword. A brilliant flower of ice bloomed from the hilt, and from its center the ice blade reformed, reflecting the wielder's expression. Slender fingers traced the blade, and as they moved, frost patterns gradually formed along the sword. The icy pattern shimmered like the breath of a sword, or perhaps its reply. Long time no see, my blade of parting. I'm so glad I don't have to do no more reading. Ooh, that was a lot of reading. Let's see if I can do horror mode. Take this off. Let's increase the crit damage and increase the multiple strike.
私が守る名術颯その思い聞き届きたもの破滅を食い止めてみせましょう私が守る重い道から運命に光明を垂れはしません日の光貫けこの刃にまとい必ず世界を守り抜きましょうブレーヌ無法者邪魔するその思い聞き届けた
本領たち
破滅を食い止めてみせましょう無法者共に窮地を乗り越えましょう先ほど不滅のみんなの願いは私が守る必ず世界を守り抜きましょう日の光貫けその想い聞き届けたダンスせよ運命光明を垂れはしません私が守る私が守りましょう無法者輝ける光その想い聞き届けた必ず世界を守り抜きましょうみんなの願いは私が守るない世界愛をみんなは守る運命光明を垂れはしませんその想い聞き届けた必ず世界を守り抜きましょうみんなの願いは私が守る
戦の後口で戦場に涙は
みんなの願いは私が守るその想い
これで全てか
聞き届けた運命に光明を垂れはしません日の光貫け万人が集いし
しまった。しまった。
みんなの願いは私が守る。
ほら、こうすれば楽になるだろう。しまった。しまった。破滅を食い止めてみせましょう。しまった。共に窮地を乗り越えましょう。
その思い聞き届けた。
しまった。
みんなの願いは私
必ず
が守る。
世界を守り抜きましょう。日の光貫きしまっ
みんなは守る。
た。しまった。しまった。しまった。しまった。
その思い聞き届けた。
破滅を食い止めてみせましょう。共に窮地を乗り越えましょう。
みんなの願いは私が守る。みんなは守る。
輝ける光。
その思い聞き届けた。みんなの願いは私
必ず世
が守る。
界を守り抜きましょう。闇を退け。
戦場に涙は死をと勝利の道で十分だ。
The moment Yotohime was defeated, a massive black storm erupted from the sword pedestal. Crimson threads coiled around Yotohime's limbs, dragging her into the storm. In an instant, she is swallowed by the seething black mist. The ritual array seems to be halfway complete. The deeper the connection with the sword, the fiercer the storm becomes. But the same fate. I will never let it befall you a second time. Yukiko then condensed the spiritual energy around her, and the serene power gently dispersed, transforming into glimmering white snowflakes that gracefully descended amidst the raging black storm. Endless snowflakes, shattered into icy dust upon colliding with the black storm, yet they continued to reform and surge forward. Yukiko then strides against the chaotic currents toward the storm's heart. Continuously channeling her spiritual power, she summons snow to part the path ahead, purifying the black tempest. Enduring countless wind blades, she trudged forward with difficulty, just as she once walked alone toward that narrow gate in pursuit of the pinnacle of swordsmanship. The deeper she ventured into the heart of the storm, the denser and sharper the wind blades became. In the end, Yukiko then could hardly tell whether the wounds on her body brought pain or numbness. Yet her steps never faltered for even a moment. Amidst the chaotic monochrome storm, a figure slowly materialized, chuckling softly as he observed the scene with the gaze of one watching a trapped beast. Do you intend to stand in my way once more? I fear this time things won't go as you wish. Let everything unfold as it should. The figure summoned an even fiercer storm, Even Yukigozen's strongest shield was instantly torn apart by the violent winds. Laceration. The omnipresent wind forced its way into her eyes, nose, mouth, and ears, even invading her lungs, racking her body with agony akin to laceration. Kagura's words from last night suddenly echoed in Yukigozen's ears.
Why do you always assume she needs your protection?
Perhaps this is my punishment. The snowflakes in the storm gradually thinned and weakened, much like Yukigozen's fading consciousness. These eyes overlooked too much, not even noticing the cracks in her heart. Just as my negligence once led to Kyoko's demise, I have once again pushed Nagi into such a desperate situation. The black storm grows ever more frenzied and rampant, yet Yukigozen still cannot reach where Yotohime stands. My protection, how presumptuous of me. Again, was I wrong? Near Fusunomitoma's sword pedestal, the group fought desperately against a massive blade. Master Cement, this black storm seems to grow fiercer by the minute. Fusunomitoma's assaults are becoming more violent. Lady Yukigozen has just awakened from a century-long slumber, her old wounds unhealed and spiritual power far from restored. Earlier casting the 1,000-mile frozen seal to intercept Fusunomitama drained her greatly. For her to charge recklessly into the black storm like this.
Lady Yukigozen, you must hold on.
Within the black storm, Yukigozen's white robes were already stained crimson with her own blood. A sharp wind blade came whistling through the air, staggering several steps back. She barely managed to ready herself by driving the blade of passage into the ground. Strength not yet recovered. Yet in the past, I always advanced thus. Why now move forward? This is no time to rest. Yukigozen swayed unsteadily, yet she refused to fall, propping herself up with the blade of life. As agony tore through her consciousness, a sealed memory pierced the darkness. It was a memory she had never seen before from a different perspective. After handling the heavy affairs of the Minamoto estate, Yukigozen collapsed onto her desk in exhaustion and fell into a deep sleep. As the candlelight flickered, a figure tiptoed closer. The newcomer was none other than Nagi. Holding her breath, she confirmed Yukigozen was truly asleep before tiptoeing to fetch a blanket and carefully draping it over her. After finishing everything, Nagi rested her hands on the table's edge and gazed at Yukigozen. For a long while under the warm glow of candlelight.
Finally exhausted enough to sleep. I thought you never need rest. You're buried here all day. I never see a trace of you. Let me tell you, my swordsmanship has improved a lot. Even the new sword instructor you hired can't beat me. The old tree in the backyard has been infested again, but this time I caught it early. It will surely survive the winter.
Nagi muttered under her breath, rambling on until she could think of nothing more to say. After a long silence, she suddenly spoke softly.
You mentioned a blank slate, a new beginning. But on your blank canvas, you wrote everyone's name except your own, didn't you? You really don't have to push yourself so hard, because...
Nagi extended her pinky and gently hooked it around Yukigozen's dangling finger.
You protect me, and I'll protect you.
In Yukigozen's heart, it seemed as if a long, taut string had suddenly loosened. Kagura's words from last night echoed once more through the storm.
Yotohime has endured so many hardships, yet she never bowed to the abyss. It was by holding on to her true self through sheer willpower that she has come this far. Perhaps the version of her you see now differs from what you envisioned. Yet this was her own choice. Nagi,
Yukiko then opens her palm, her exhaled breath crystallizing into glistening snowflakes that gather into an ice-carved gentian flower in her hand. Remember the promise you made when you hooked your finger with mine. This time, now is your turn to walk toward me, your turn to protect me. Before the surging black mist completely engulfed Yukiko-san, she gently exhaled, sending the gentian flowers drifting deep into the storm on a faint, wintry breeze. At the heart of the storm, Yotahime seemed to sense something. The moment the gentian touched her forehead, familiar memories gradually surfaced before her tightly shut eyes. She saw the village swallowed by flames, lost her dearest kin, and looked up only to witness Yukiko-san's retreating figure walking away from the village. She saw it, Yukiko-san pushing her into a protective barrier in the forest near the annex, then walking alone into the shadowed woods. She saw it the night before the final battle, Yukiko-san's unwavering back never turning despite her pleas. In the world of Nagi, the wind and snow did not cease, instead they grew fiercer. A familiar whisper arose amidst the snowfall. Why is it raining? You. Drop by drop, something lands on her face. She feels the cool, damp touch of moisture. She saw the one who never shed tears in her memories under the night sky as they turned away. Glistening tears welled in their eyes. Despite the reluctance in her heart, she still had to march toward the battlefield.
I knew it all along. No one was more reluctant than her. What I truly cannot forgive is not the abandonment from the previous night. What I cannot forgive.
The dark mist churned violently, trying to engulf Yotahime once more, but her gaze forced it back. Yotahime ran toward those retreating figures in her memory, rushing into every farewell scene she had once feared to face. If this is the path you choose, then I'll chase after you 1,000, no, 1,000,000 times. I'll keep running, keep growing stronger until... The running figure gradually grew from a child into a sword-wielding maiden. And at last she drew near that retreating figure. Yotahime stretched out her hand with all her might. Just as the murky black tide was about to swallow Yukiko-san, a hand tore through it, firmly grasping hers and pulling her out with all its might. The moment Yukiko-san was flung out of the storm, what she saw was the Nagi she knew so well. Yukiko-san smiled. You finally come. Yotahime's smile blossoms, her eyes glistening with crystalline tears. Welcome back, Sister Yuki. Ice and black tempests clashed, tore apart, finally exploding into a skyward rain of gentian petals drifting down. It seems Lady Yukiko-san has accomplished the impossible, purification beyond all odds. Then we can go all out without any worries, right? I'm fully prepared. Everyone, let's give it our all and defeat Fusuno Mitano.